No, maybe. Go road.
Does everyone have their questions?
Wonderful.
All right. Call this meeting to order. Regularly scheduled city council meeting for November 4, 2025. Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do a quick roll call. Councilmember Pritchard,
Present.
Councilmember Spears,
Present.
Councilmember Kennedy,
Present.
Councilmember Maxwell,
Here.
Councilmember Olson,
Here.
Councilmember Harbolt,
Here.
you all are present. Approval of the agenda, council, there are there'll be a couple corrections along the way, but I think I'll only address the addition right now. And that would be addition, under 10E, adding 10E 25. Resolution, 25-782. That's the service agreement, with the wreath making class. And any other corrections or additions from council? Entertain a motion to approve as amended.
So move. Second.
Any discussion on the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Opportunity for interested citizen comment. We'll have another opportunity at the end. We did receive one written comment today. The subject being written comments for city council meeting for November 2025. All council members received that. That came in at 3:30 this afternoon. Anyone in the room that would like to make a public comment? This is your opportunity. Anyone online? Okay. Going once, twice. Moving on then, and like I said, you'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Somewhere in the mid meeting, I've asked Mayor Pro Tem Kennedy if he would fill in for me. I'll be leaving around 7:45. So we'll try to find out a convenient place. If we're not finished, then he'll finish the meeting for me. Thank you. Okay. Announcements, proclamations, and special presentations. We don't have any that I know of. Hearing from council then, committee and council reports. Councilmember Pritchard.
No report.
Okay. Excellent job on the PFAS
Yeah.
presentation
Sorry,
at
yeah.
high school last night. That was very good and very well attended. Probably 100 people, I would guess. Sunny and I were both there, but anything from that you'd like to share? And Commissioner French.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was just for the big day today. The 4th of November is coming through. Yeah, we had a meeting last night, 100 people presented the results of a 2-year study that was supported by the City of Medical Lake, funded through Department of Ecology. If there are anybody in the city would like us to present that, Council or Planning Commission, I'm happy to do so, or residents learn more, please let me know. We're here as a source of knowledge for that. I did meet with George Dahl. Very excited about how they're morphed the fire recovery, the emergency recovery funds. It was a lot different than when I first came here and asked people to help us. It's much nicer. It sounds like you talked to the mayor.
Yeah.
It's the commissioner, administrator. And then we had a great lunch with AWC. It was nice to meet some people I hadn't met before at Liberty Lake. It was nice to see the mayor sort of stand up for the city, and really stand as a good leader for the community. It was really nice to see that. I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you. Councilmember Spears, any reporting?
I have no report this week, Your Honor.
Councilmember Kennedy,
No report.
Councilmember Rex.
No report, Your Honor.
Okay, sounds good.
No report, Your Honor.
Awesome. Councilmember Harbolt.
No report.
Okay. Quickly, for myself, we've been having meetings with Spokane County Emergency Management. They are reaching a significant budget shortfall, and concerned about cuts, or even maintaining their position. So they have brought a proposition to each one of the cities asking to help us pay an additional amount from what we already pay for emergency management. It's not very much, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that that's something that we'll be bringing along with the budget at the next meeting. It's about a $4,000 difference annually. No decisions have been made, but I wanted to let you know that's part of the conversation. It was good conversation. Most of the small cities supported the idea that having a robust emergency management is in all of our best interest. And then I gave each one of you council members, there's an elected officials essential on December the 6th, and it is in Airway Heights, so it's a great opportunity to brush up on Public Records Act and, open public meeting and all of those things. And we'll have new council members too. So anyway, it'd be a great time for all of us to kind of hear the same thing and any changes that have come about. So you should have that in your email, or if you need, Roxanne can help you register. Right, Roxanne? Okay. All right. I think that's all I really wanted to share. Staff have been working really hard on the budget, and you also have in front of you the 2025 preliminary budget, so that you'll have opportunity to review that before we dive in. So, Mr. Weathers, any updates?
No report from me.
Oh, I probably took them all. I'm sorry.
No, that's all been covered. It's good.
Between the two of us, we usually get it covered. This is our opportunity now for a workshop discussion. What's going to happen now? Notes in a row here. So we have 3 candidates that were selected, as you know. Patrick, is it Flaherty? Flaherty, okay, thank you. Joe David Valise and Lauren Ray Abbott. We're so thankful to them and all of you who put your names up to be considered for the vacant council seat number 6. So I just want to welcome everyone. Just to let you know that we're on a pretty tight schedule tonight. You'll be allowed 16 minutes to provide an opening statement, 2 minutes and answer 1 question from each council member for a total of 6 questions, 2 minutes each. So that's the 16 minutes. Doesn't have to take up the whole 16 minutes, but that would be the maximum time. Time will be announced. And so if we say you hear time from our timekeeper over here, just finish your sentence. That's fine. And then we'll move on. If there's a pause between questions, please don't be alarmed about that. Council members are probably taking notes of things that you've said or they're thinking about. And so don't worry too much about that. And then the council will deliberate on the slate of candidates and take action. So what will happen after each one of you are called up one at a time, we'll go through all of that. You'll sit down. And then we will go into an executive session where there'll be deliberation. No decision will be made during that session, but just discussion about qualifications. And then we'll come back and that decision will be made in the open public forum. We'll reopen the meeting. So what we'll do is we're going to sequester the candidates. My office is right across the hall. Scott Duncan has decided, or he was volunteered to be the bailiff tonight. So he'll take you into his custody. And Mr. Patrick Flaherty, you can remain.
We're gonna draw straws.
Oh, we're drawing straws. I'm sorry. I thought I had you in order. We're drawing straws to see who goes first. So it's absolutely a surprise. I don't know how they ended up in that particular, actually, they're not recorded, they're across the top of the page, but keep there.
As it happens.
Oh, well. You drew the long straw, so just a moment. So we're just getting ready to start then with the questions. As I said, each council member has prepared a question. Every candidate is going to be asked the same question. Our timekeeper is going to be, who's going to call time? Is that Roxanne? Okay, Roxanne. And we will go ahead and get started. And you have a 2-minute opening statement, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think I beat that by half. I guess welcome I'm really glad to be here. I'm Pat Flaherty. I've been a resident of Medical Lake for 6 years. I never would have found us on the map if the Air Force hadn't have sent me to Medical Lake. But it's a wonderful place. I've had 3 kids go through all your schools here in Medical Lake School District, except for Michael Anderson, because we went to Hallett. And I've just fallen in love with how this community supports families, supports peace, justice, in a quiet, calm, rational location. We don't have a bunch of problems that I see. We have clean streets. We got brand new street lights. We got places for kids to go to school. We're locally situated here in the West Plains in a way that we have our kids can stay here at home and attend incredible schools at Eastern Washington. Great culture in Spokane County. And I'm just blessed to be here. And I'd love to be able to represent my city, give a little back, because being able to serve my neighbors in a peaceful, positive way that is not acrimonious and solves problems relatively unanimously based on shared values. It's important to me. I look forward to working with you in the future, either as a council member or just a regular citizen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Kennedy, you can start off with question number 1, please.
Sure. How do you deal with difficult people?
Thank you for your question, sir. I think they burn themselves out when you ask great questions. Most people are attacking a problem and they think you might be the problem. They're often mistaken. When we can find common ground, we can actually start solving the problem. But if we can't actually talk to each other, then we just have to wait each other out. I'm resilient, fairly agile, but I think we can work our way through there. Do you have a way you'd like to solve problems with difficult people?
This is an opportunity for us to ask you questions. Not anyone else's questions. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. Anything else you'd like to add to that answer?
Most times people are frustrated and usually driven by their emotions when they're being difficult. We can wait them out and start solving the real problems they're actually asking, which often aren't the person in front of them.
Thank you. And then we'll move to Councilmember Olson. Will you please ask question 2?
Welcome and thank you for your participation. Appreciate it. What is your position concerning the revitalization on the downtown corridor, especially attracting viable businesses to Medical Lake?
Thank you for your question. When I look downtown, I see Rome Coffee House as being a beacon for our people to come down there. It's the nicest, newest building we have down there. We do have new businesses coming through. Now we do have some old structures, some old commercial structures that need some attention, that are falling apart. I do see that our city council has a code enforcement officer here for part of the city staff to go ahead and go after those problems and start solving them. But we do need to get new businesses in. I would love to see them. I understand that council is looking at opportunities to attract those businesses. I'd look to explore more opportunities to go do so. Did that answer your question?
Anything specific?
You know, we got to probably find a way to get grants and identify small business owners that would like to come to our area. We don't have a laundromat downtown anymore. We've lost one of our recent businesses in Lafayette. We need to find a way to attract these businesses. Small business grants, exploring opportunities to partner with other existing small businesses might be helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Maxwell, question 3.
What are the strengths you can bring to the city council?
Oh, I'm multilingual, sir. I spend a lot of time talking to people that are different from me. And heck, there's 7 billion of them, and only 2 of me. So we got to figure that one out. We can go talk to I have a twin brother, man. One of the blessings we have is that every single person doesn't know each other's story. So we can spend some time talking to people that are different from us. I do try to focus on finding out where people are coming from. And it can help solve those small pieces of let's call it abrasion that some people can have. But I do have the strength, I think, with finding common ground.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Councilmember Harbolt, the question 4, please.
Good evening, sir. In a situation where the city council is divided on a controversial issue and you find yourself in the minority, how would you respond?
I focus on our values. I think a lot of times we can be looking at issues from opposite sides of the fence without realizing that the issue is not what we're talking about. It can be others activating and setting events. So if we identify what our real problem is here, there's probably not as much of a divide between council members. Now, if we do have it, you can respectfully identify what our problems are, identify what those conflicts are, and then rank those between each other. There's no reason to engage in negative name calling or character assassination between people you respect. And if you respect yourself, you should not engage in those things at all. Does that make sense? Answer your question, sir.
Thank you.
Councilmember Spears, if you would ask question 5, please.
Well. Good evening. Please share 2 or 3 issues that you think are currently affecting Medical Lake and how you think they might be addressed.
Thank you for your question, sir. One of the things I see a lot is staffers from our Eastern State Hospital treating it looked like a qualifying NASCAR lap when they get off shift when our kids are walking to school in the morning. Who hasn't had a long night and just needed to get away from their work center to get just home. Hot shower, hot meal, see their wife and kids. But I'd really like to see them slow down through our 20-mile-per-hour zones, specifically 220, and not race through the crosswalks on the way home. I see that as a safety issue that's affecting one of our most precious resources, in my mind, which is the children of our community when they're on their way to school. That's a problem set I'm seeing. In addition, I'm seeing a lot of graffiti within our parks and a lot of vandalism within our parks. I'd like to see some way that we can address that. I understand that we're getting some security cameras put up. We're going to do a few more drive-bys from Spokane County, specifically the sheriff's office and scope. I think that will go a long way to resolving those issues. In addition, I would like, that's that. In addition, I'd love to see some more businesses coming downtown. So if we can get some more small businesses standing up, that'd be a great benefit for our community. In addition, raise revenue and get the kids in our town more jobs, more opportunities for them to work here at home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Pritchard, question 6, please.
Thank you for your time. So far here is good. What do you see the role of a city council member is doing?
Thanks,
What's
sir.
the role?
Well, as you guys know, the Constitution says that we should be assured of Republican form of government at all levels, both at federal and our state local levels. We feel that section, Article 1, Section 1 requirement be a legislative body for our people, to represent our people here. I'm supposed to lead from the front. I'm supposed to be an active and visible leader within my community. Meaning that we're going to represent our people and bring them things. We're going to identify health risks to them. We're going to make sure they can get transportation. We're going to make sure they're represented and that their rights are respected. We're going to volunteer our way and show our way to be good stewards of our community. That's what I think a city councilman's supposed to do. And then there's some voting and going to meetings. But I think you can be an active and visible member of the community and show people how to be a good steward of the community.
All right. So you'll have 2 minutes then for a closing comment, and then that will conclude your session. And then Sunny, this is the question. After the closing comments, will he return then to the sequestered area? Okay. So go right ahead, 2 minutes, please.
At heart, I'm grateful. I've been given incredible opportunities throughout my entire life to try and learn and do. And I see this location here as the same thing for my family. My oldest son worked here, in the rec department. Got to meet some of you guys as kids. I was able to get a firm landing and buy a great house from a family that lived here for 40 years at a great rate at the time. My kids went to incredible schools with a passionate teaching staff. And I was able to have a safe, sane commute without a single traffic light to my job, which I served here at Fairchild Air Force Base. I like it here. Love the opportunity to serve you guys. If you don't select me as a counselor, I'll still be a member of your community. If you have something that's coming up, I'm always down to be a part of it. Let me know where I can help.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Who was the next longest straw, so I guess we'll all be surprised.
Okay. Actually cold up there. Actually cold for once.
Hello, welcome.
Hi. This is me. Right at the podium is fine. Welcome.
So Ms. Abbott, if you will introduce yourself, you'll then be given 2 minutes to give us an opening statement. And then each one of the council members will ask you their question that they've prepared. Every candidate is asked the same questions, just so you know. You'll be given 2 minutes to respond to each one of those questions, and at the end, a 2-minute closing. So we'll go ahead and get started then. If you want to introduce yourself and take 2 minutes.
Well, my name is Lauren. My last name is Ray Abbott. It is hyphenated. I am originally from Puyallup, Washington. If anyone is familiar with the commonly mispronounced town on the west side, go Vikings. I am a 25-year Air Force veteran. I had 11 assignments, and I did almost my entire career as a single parent of 3. I got stationed with my husband and our 2 youngest out of 8 that we had together at Fairchild in 2011. I deployed, and before going back to Korea, I retired as Chief Master Sergeant in 2013. At the time, our youngest daughter was middle schooler at Medical Lake, and I seized a rare opportunity to let her go to the same high school with friends, unlike my other 2 children, and we moved to Medical Lake. I thought that maybe when she graduated, we would decide to go somewhere else, but we fell in love with the charm and the natural beauty of Medical Lake, and we ended up moving a half mile down the road. So we've been here ever since. We also moved my mother, my grandmother, and my sister from 2 states and a different country to Medical Lake, and they're here. I am currently a project coordinator with a commercial contractor. We do commercial, public, civil projects, and I am in charge of compliance, general liability, as-builts, whatnot. But I am honored to be here and to be talking to you about the possibility of joining your team, and thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Kennedy, would you please present question 1?
How do you deal with difficult people?
Well, I think
If
that
you have teenagers, you probably have to practice.
yes. Can I call my middle daughter? So basically, I think that everybody wants to be heard. And so instead, I call it disarming. So they're ready to fight, difficult people, ready to fight, ready to argue. And my thought is, if I give them a chance to be heard and say their piece, then they'll allow me to do the same. And we can usually come to some kind of, if it's respectful, we can come to some kind of common ground and get through it.
Thank you. Councilmember Olson with question 2, please.
Welcome, and thank you for stepping up. Appreciate that.
So,
What is your position concerning the revitalization on the downtown corridor, especially attracting viable businesses to Medical Lake?
can you repeat the first part of that question?
What is your position concerning the revitalization on the downtown corridor?
Well, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to be here today. I am all about the Reimagine Medical Lake. I feel like Medical Lake has, and we should want it to be a purposeful destination. And so there's so many buildings that are not being utilized, not to their full potential. And so I am an advocate of getting businesses that are not only desirable, but sustainable in there. So it's not enough to put something cool in there if we can't sustain it. So yes, I envision that Medical Lake will be somewhere where people purposely go to visit and not just through on their way to somewhere else.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Max, what would you ask question 3? Yes.
What are the strengths you can bring to the city council?
You know, arguably, I have dedicated my life to service. I think that pros and cons, sitting down at the table and coming up with a plan, scheduling, training, implementation, problem solving. My career in the military was largely surrounded that, and then collaborating up and down the chain. I also think that I've had my finger on the pulse of people through the jobs that I had in the military. And so I think that all of those skills would benefit us as a team in the city.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Carville with question 4, please.
Good evening. In a situation where the city council is divided on a controversial issue and you find yourself in the minority, how would you respond?
Well, I mean, we are council, so everyone has an opportunity to be heard. And it's a democracy, so we're voting, we're discussing, we are coming, I mean, everybody has an opinion, and unfortunately, we don't all have the same one, or fortunately, we don't all have the same one. So I think that as long as I was heard, then I would support the group in the final decision.
Thank you. Councilmember Spears with question 5, please.
Good evening.
Hello, sir.
Please share 2 or 3 issues that you think are currently affecting Medical Lake, and how do you think that they can be addressed?
Well, I was here during the Great Fire, obviously. I think that the city has done so much to repair itself from that, but I think there's things that we can do for that. In our recreation, I mean, I walk a lot and I see where the blank spots are, where the trees are gone. I think that those repairing it, those being my number one issue. And then, as we were discussing before, the corridor and the infrastructure, which roads, sidewalks, which we have already done so many things for that. But let's get some of those buildings and to realize their potential and put something in there that is just going to benefit everyone. Maybe do something with that gas station, you know. So yeah, I think that those are primary issues. I think that I know that we lease the police. I think that I'd really like to see the neighborhood watch, maybe scope come back, it maybe in a little more force, where neighbors are taking care of neighbors, not policing each other, but taking care of each other. I mean, I live across the street from the park, so I see a lot of things that are going on there, and so I'm always watching. And when I lived in Fox Ridge, I had a visitor, let's call it a visitor, that came to my house at dark, said he was from the city, and then he needed to speak with me. And it raised a red flag. I called Scope. I alerted all my neighbors, who all happen to be single women. And so, yeah, things like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Pritchard with question 6.
Right. What do you see the role of city council member doing, like what do we do as city council members?
Well, we enact ordinances, zoning, managing budgets. We act in the best interest of our city and its residents in regards to the wants and needs and yes.
Okay, yeah, that's about it, yeah. Yeah, make sure you're not missing, yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Very good. So you have 2 minutes now to give us your closing statement, and then you'll return to your sequestered area for our final candidates. So go right ahead.
I'm very honored to be included in today's interviews. I love Medical Lake. We've spent 12 out of the 14 years that we've been married in Medical Lake. We both feel very attached to it. I think that again, my career has been all service, whether it be the Air Force, the Booster Club, the UGM, downtown, the church, whatever. And I want to help maintain the charm and the safety and the natural beauty of Medical Lake, because it is a great place to live. And if I can, I feel it's my duty to help, and I would love to be a part of your team.
Well, thank you so much. We'll have you return to your sequestered area, and we should be finished here soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Right. Oh, you should.
Good evening, Mr. Belize.
How are ya?
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So you'll introduce yourself and have 2 minutes to give us an opening statement. And then each of the council members have prepared a question. They will each ask you that question. You'll have 2 minutes to answer each one of those. And then at the end, you'll have 2 minutes for closing. So I think we're ready to go. So
Thank you very much. I'm Joe David Belize. It's nice to meet you. Thank you all for offering me this opportunity to interview for Council Position 6. I've been here in the Medical Lake area since 2000. I was in the Air Force and got stationed here in 2000. And all of our children went to school here at the middle school and the high school, of course, elementary on base. And I have a daughter that was a 12-year Medical Lake student, so which is kind of odd being in the military, but she loved it here, and we loved it here so much that when I retired January 1st of 2009, we looked for a house in the area, bought a house, moved in, been here since then. Our house, we lived on Evergreen, still live on Evergreen. During the Gray Fire, I think it was 19 of the 25 houses on our street on Evergreen and Stanley burnt down. We moved to town reluctantly, but we moved back. We had our house, but we knew we wanted to stay here in Medical Lake because we love Medical Lake. And I just want to be involved in the city. I'm on the commission, planning commission, but I like doing public service. I've been in public service federal for the Air Force for 26 years. And then also now I work for the state of Washington out at Lakeland Village. Been there for almost 13 years and 2 more years left for my final retirement. So just love being here. And I just want to get back to the city.
well, thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for your service. Councilmember Kennedy, will you please start with question number 1?
How do you deal with difficult people?
Well, I try and I always want to build bridges. I listen to people. I know everybody has varying opinions and different ideas, but that's how we learn from each other, is to be open-minded and try to work together. Like I said, I don't want to be a barrier, but a bridge builder, and to be collaborative and be a team player and work with people and try to navigate through whatever difficulties we have to find the common ground to make the best solution that's the best answer and advantageous for our community.
Thank you. Councilmember Olson, will you please get question 2?
Welcome and thank you for stepping up. I appreciate it. What is your position concerning the revitalization in the downtown corridor, especially in attracting viable businesses to Medical Lake?
Well, definitely want to make sure that we still offer opportunities for our local businesses, our local residents that live here to be able to have their own businesses in town. I'm not opposed to the growth of the city, but I do like the small town community aspect. And so it's kind of a, not tricky, but difficult area to navigate to keep that balance between wanting to improve and move forward, but also keep the small town feel here. But my main, I think my main importance is to provide and make sure that we can offer opportunities for local business to thrive here in the community. And I do that also by me and my wife, by supporting a lot of businesses here in town.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Councilmember Maxwell, question 3.
What are the strengths you can bring to the city council?
Very confident in public speaking, working with individuals. Like I said, when I was in the Air Force, I was a safety officer for majority, so I had to span across the 3,800 people that worked on base. So communicating with different people. Where I work currently for the state of Washington out at Lakeland, I'm the facility administrator, and I deal with a lot of different entities, not just at work, but with Eastern, with MOD for CSS, with the city of Medical Lake, with the city of Spokane, and different agencies like emergency management, the fire district here, and in Cheney. So my goal is always to be collaborative. The big thing is communication. I always tell people that I work with and work for, there's no such thing as too much communication, because that dissolves a lot of barriers and complications if you can be open and communicative and transparent.
Thank you.
Very good. Councilmember Harville with question 4, please.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. In a situation where the city council is divided on a controversial issue and you find yourself in the minority, how would you respond?
Well, if I was in minority, I'd still make my opinions known and my views, but I would always be supportive of the majority. You know, I'm very, where I work, like I said, not always in the majority. So I want to be supportive. And main thing is to make sure whatever decision is made is the best decision. If I was on the council, for the city, for the community, for the people that live here, because that's what our purpose is to hear their voice, to serve them, and make sure that their needs are met. And so whatever is best for the community and the council.
Thank you.
And Councilmember Spears with question 5.
Hello, good evening. Please share 2 or 3 issues that you think are currently affecting Medical Lake and how you think they can be addressed.
One big one is our preparedness for emergency management. After the Great Fire, you know, that was very devastating to the city and to the community, and being prepared. Where I work also, I oversee the emergency management department. And that's one of the major factors is you can't always know when there's going to be an emergency, but being prepared can take a lot of the stress away. You know, things change, no emergency is ever the same, but being prepared will definitely reduce a lot of the hurdles and obstacles. So I think having a robust emergency management plan and how we would handle those situations is very important. Another one is the safety and infrastructure for the city. So, to me, I feel that safety and infrastructure go together, making sure the city has everything we need for as roads, construction, capital projects, and then the safety of our community. I feel having a safe environment is not just also important, but making sure that the residents feel safe. I believe that we are safe, but we want them to feel safe as well, because that's the second part of it.
Thank you.
And Councilmember Pritchard with the final question 6.
So what do you see as the role of a city council member is doing?
Well, if I'm selected to be the councilman position 6, I want to be a voice and a representative to the people, hear their needs, listen to what they want, support the mayor, the mayor's vision, the council, always be open and, like I said, collaborative, a team player, and work towards moving the city into the next level of finances, budget, capital, infrastructure.
Very good. Okay, finally then, 2 minutes to.
2 minutes.
Closing arguments, sir.
Well, let's see, like I said, I've been here since 2000. And even though I've only lived in the city since 2009, we moved here in February when we bought our house on Evergreen. We knew we wanted to stay in the area because I grew up in South Texas, in Houston, way too big, don't want to go back there. I like where Medical Lake is. Cheney's nice, but Medical Lake to me is just the right size. You know, we're not too far if we need to run into Spokane for something or go to the west side. But I like Medical Lake. I think it's situated in the perfect niche of the county, and I love being here. I love the environment. I am so proud of the way I've seen this city move in the last 2 to 3 years with the streets, with the buildings, the local businesses that are here now, the park, the way the park has been revitalized now, Riverfront. So I just want to be more involved with the city and be able to give back to the community that we live in.
We appreciate you taking the time and for applying and,
And thank you.
so we'll have you retire back to the area. We're going to go into an executive session. We'll take about 15 minutes. And so you'll stay there and we'll come and get you when we're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come back with a decision, come back to make the decision. So we will leave now at 12 minutes after 7 and we'll be back in 15 minutes.
Next. I would think so. That's.
We're gonna go ahead.
Thank you.
Sunday, not often.
Okay, we are back on the record for the November 4th council meeting. We have been in executive session. Returning at 7:27 as promised. And we are ready now to take nomination for the vacant city council seat 6. Yes,
I'd like to make a motion.
you may.
I would move that we consider Lauren Ray Abbott to fill the position.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Any discussion from council? Anything?
All three candidates were amazing. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And we can't have job sharing.
Yes.
Thank all three of you for stepping up. Very good. Impressive.
Yes.
Take the vote then, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, welcome. Ms. Ray Abbott. I'm so appreciative. I want to, Sunny is gonna give you a little bit of information here, but we want to thank all of you for applying and the caliber. It was so hard. We said we want everybody excellent, just excellence all the way around. Couldn't be happier. There's a lot of other opportunities to serve. Joe David, so appreciative of you being on planning commission. You have brought such a level of professionalism to that commission, and I'm so proud that you're there and the work that you're doing is meaningful work, and so appreciative. And Mr. Patrick, you have attended so many meetings. You're obviously engaged, have a passion for this community. It means so much to us that you would apply, so thank you. So you should say Mr. Flaherty, but it's easier to say Patrick. I don't know why. But Sunny, if you want to give, I don't know if you wanted to give them any other instruction on some of those opportunities, or.
Yeah, happy to. We do have open, we have vacancies currently on the planning commission and on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. So you know that you're acting in a great capacity there, much valued and appreciated. Patrick will be happy to share with those opportunities with you as well. There's just this.
Thanks for starting.
Thank you. Okay,
Was an extremely hard decision.
yes, yes. What an impressive group. Okay. It's hard to move on because that was really great. I will say, for your appointment, there is a training coming up on the 6th of December. We'll get that information for you. We will likely swear you in at the next council meeting, since that's vacant now. So you'll get all the invitations, and you'll have time for that training. You don't have to have it before you can actually sit with council. So we look forward to you helping us pass it'll be your first budget. So thank you. Yeah. Okay. No public hearings. Action items. Ended up with a few little snafus here, not sure, but so on the consent agenda, approval for the October 15, 2025 minutes, there is a corrected copy. And the corrected copy still had one other thing. So the corrected copy removed the Zoom link because we did not have a Zoom link for that meeting. It was an in-person meeting. And then also the time says 6:30 and it was actually at 10 a.m. And that was for the budget retreat. So we will be using the corrected copy and amending the time to 10 a.m. on October 15, 2025. Any other corrections or amendments?
approve as corrected.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion there? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Sorry for those errors. And then we have the October 21st minutes, 2025. Council had opportunity to review those minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion there? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain since I wasn't there.
Okay, All in favor, one abstention from Councilmember Kennedy. Motion passes. And then the approval of the November 4, 2025 claims and warrants, numbered 53090 and 53115 in the amount of $505,542.26. Also, we need a date correction. On that, it says November 18th, and we would like to amend that to today, which is the 4th of November 2025. Everything else is as stated.
Move to approve as corrected. Second.
Any discussion there? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Warrants approved. Moving on to resolution 25-778, the security camera and light pole installation. You recall last meeting, we had a little concern that it included the installation of the light, the cameras. It does not, same price, remove that error. And so, yeah, I don't know what else you want to add there, but
Oh, that's great. Yeah, just the lack of clarity that was in the language, reach out to the contractor. You remove that language, but it was, yeah, just an oversight, and that the cameras were not included in the installation fee. So that has been updated, and it's ready for consideration this evening.
Move to approve.
Second.
any other discussion on that issue? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, resolution 25-778 passes unanimously. Resolution 25-779 grant writing service agreement with Bridging Hope Consulting. You want to tell us a little bit about that, Sunny?
You bet. On page 20 of your packets, as you're all familiar, we've had grant writing agreements with grant writers in the past. It's been fruitful for the most part with us, and looking at we're in the season now for federal grants, and we worked with 3 different grant writing agencies, interviewing and discussing to find the right fit for the city. And arrived at Bridging Hope Consulting, Alessandra Sims, and so prepared a very similar service agreement and scope of work for your consideration, up to $10,000. Just to mention, historically, we started this avenue with an up to $5,000 agreement a few years back with Elise Minotti, and rates have doubled since that time. And so $5,000 is about 1 to 1.5 grants to prepare, and we know there's more opportunity than that. So that's where we landed at that, but that's your purview as well if you feel like we should adjust or amend that in any way.
I will say that 10,000 even is probably low from what we're asking for major infrastructure grants, especially federal grants. They're much more complicated, those applications, but I think it's a good place to start. And then if we see some fruitful effort, we can always come back and see if we want to amend that for more. But I think it gives us a good place to start. But you had a question.
What was that $150 hour for like the group? Is that pretty standard then?
That is pretty standard costs from all the entities that we discuss grant writing with. That's the going rate nowadays. And then
That's for 3 people. I've never seen that. Interesting.
yeah, and that team is, they're not all doing every part. So it's some are good technical writers and some are good finders and searchers, and so all of that. But they do have that separate rate for research, which includes both finding the opportunities that fit the needs that we have. We have a well-developed list of capital improvement projects now, which is different than what we've done in the past. And so we feel like that's going to be really beneficial at that lower rate, being able to find the right opportunities. We buy off on that before they get to apply. So none of the $150 charge goes without us saying, yes, that's a right fit. And we work together to get there. Similarly, the looking over the grant applications is all considered research aspect also. So
Anything further from council?
So you said this is about 1 to 2 grants.
this, it seems, 2 to 3 most likely will come through in this. With federal grants we're in that federal season now. State season comes later, but in that federal season, they're a lot bigger and more complicated. So probably 2 to 3 grants we would expect for this cost and time frame.
Okay.
I wanted to add one thing too. When we were interviewing, we made it very clear, we shared our capital plan. And that, you know, so we want to take our plan and then let's look for those specific grants. So it's not just a random, what grants are out there, let's see if we can use some money. These are show-ready plans. All we need is the funding. And so we felt good. She was very clear on her ability to do that, and there she's searching for other people too, and so we get the benefit of that while she's looking for us and others, and so we felt good about it.
Yeah, I think this is we've had really good luck with grants so far.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really great program. And as far as my part, if we get close to running out of money, I would like to hear about it to make sure that we can keep utilizing a resource like this.
Most definitely. I think, from the past experiences, we just wanted to make sure that we could get a few great opportunities out there, hopefully land some, and then based on that, if it's successful, we would certainly bring back an amendment to consider additional funds to bring home more opportunity there. Also considering bandwidth, because it is a lot to manage, but I think that I feel really good about all the direct improvements that are in front of us that you've approved. It gives us a really clear path. We're chasing real targets, not shooting in the wide open and calling what we hit the target.
Anything further from council?
And you said you're working with other people. Is it pretty local, other people? I mean, like in Washington, Eastern Washington, other client.
We were.
I don't know if I asked them.
They've helped out with grants with the West Plains Safety Alliance, which
Yeah.
we're a
Oh,
part of
gotcha.
as well.
That's perfect.
And so, yeah, they're familiar with Washington, do some work in Washington, but they're not exclusive to
Gotcha.
Washington.
Okay, that's all.
I only hesitated because they had lived here, right? That's why they love medical aid. But her husband had health issues. So anyway, they live in Arizona, they fly back and forth, but most of their work is Washington work, interestingly enough, but they live in Arizona. So anyway,
A lot of experience tapping into federal resources too. So.
yeah, they do. So
I'll move to approve. Bridging Hope. That's all.
I'll second.
any further discussion from council? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution 25-779 passes. Resolution 25-780 administrative fees for 2026. The one thing added to this, you'll see, are the kitchen rates. And we're hoping to create the revenue streams there along with refuse collection rates, water sewer rates. Those changes are highlighted in yellow. We talked about those at our last meeting. And then as I said, the kitchen rates.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As mentioned by the mayor, really the only adjustment to the administrative rates, the resolution we're looking at right now is the kitchen rates that were proposed and offered to us by a potential consultant. And that is Section 2, Title 5, Number 2, commercial kitchen rates.
Page 33.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I let my page go and then I couldn't.
As far as the memberships goes, what's the benefit of the membership there?
So I will not be able to elaborate on the strategy there, but I will say that we had a potential consultant that looked over the idea of the kitchen and made some proposals and said,
And I do have some insight into that. I've went over this extensively with that consultant, and that is creating like either a cottage kitchen. People have a cottage kitchen license, or they do some type of work like that where they need a commercial kitchen to bake their goods, and then they sell them elsewhere, sell them to another business. And so if they can have a membership, they actually can get more hours in the kitchen, but then they're guaranteed that $300 a month, and they would come in at the times that are available. Some of those folks do their baking like in the middle of the night. when others wouldn't be using it anyway. And so it's a way to capture revenues at a time when nobody would be using the kitchen. And so that's one of the models for membership and the farmers market. And then also they talk about classes that they would teach, like food preservation and those things. If they're part of that membership, they could work together. So we'll learn more once we get that actually dialed in, but we wanted to get this on the fee schedule before the budget came before you. And once it's thriving and working, just like the park and rec programs, we'll bring you back regular reports, revenue reports, program reports, so that we can kind of watch that and see how it grows and adjust as we need to. Any other questions?
I would move to approve the resolution.
Second.
Any further discussion on the fee schedule? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution 25-780 passes unanimously. And we'll move to resolution 25-781. Yeah, the utility rates. I think that's kind of where I jumped to initially when I said, oh, look at the highlighted area. I was wrong.
Rates and rates.
Rates and more rates.
Yes.
I
So
apologize, Council. Turning to page 38 and then 39 is utility rates. The
Yes.
first were fees, the second is rates, just to be clear.
So as the mayor mentioned, what I've constructed here in Exhibit A is what is being proposed as changed. So you can see all of the different rates in the highlighted section under 2026. This is what I'm proposing that we adjust the rate to. If you continue on to 41, you can see Exhibit B, which is all of the rates in their entirety.
Those have.
In B, so B would include both rates that have changed and rates that have not, but Exhibit A only illustrates rates that are changing. And then so it gives you a glimpse at what they were, whereas Exhibit B is essentially the adopted schedule, and it doesn't show what the prior year was, just what the adopted schedule would be. So the Exhibit A gives a comparison.
Any further questions? Entertain a motion? Unless you need another minute to digest, you need another minute to have a look at those.
I didn't know that we did hydrant meter rentals. Did you do that often?
It's not often, but it is.
No big, yeah. I just had a problem with people coming taking it and I call Scott. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're supposed to take it."
Yeah, I do remember talking with Scott, I think a year ago or two, and I said, "Is this really a rate? Like,
Yeah.
should we cut this?" And he said that it's happened in the past. He's been here a lot longer than I have, so I'm gonna trust him on that. But
Okay, I thought that's good.
We need it
Yeah.
when we need it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I just wanted to.
But yeah, no, I thought the same.
Move to approve.
Second that one.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, resolution 25-781 utility rates 2026 passes unanimously. Resolution E 25-782, this is service agreement with wreath making class. This is the standard service agreement that we have. Go ahead, Sonny.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Standard service agreement for service providers like yoga instructors, and these are just the classes that are offered, and so we've got a great opportunity with the holiday season coming up for wreath making. And this service agreement and resolutions before you for consideration. Happy to address any questions if you have.
That was the resolution that was added, that it's probably before you there.
It's great.
Any questions about wreath making? Any opposition?
Just, I guess, the gratitude shared from staff. We were working on some details in the service agreement and the different insurance needs for this type of a class. And so did not intend to have to add it last minute, but we do have the first classes scheduled for the 15th. So if it is in your purview, we just wanted to be sure that we were under an executed agreement in advance of that, or we'd have to make some changes. But happy to
address.
Entertain a motion unless there's further discussion.
Move to approve.
So,
A motion and a second. Any other discussion there? All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimously. I am going to excuse myself. Next on the agenda is the first read of the property tax levy for 2026. If I could ask Mayor Pro Tem Kennedy to take over for me.
gladly.
You can even have the chair and everything, so. And for my guests.
Yes. Council, would you like to read ordinance?
Yeah, thank you. City of Medical Lake, Spokane County, Washington, ordinance number 1136. An ordinance of the city of Medical Lake, Washington, levying the regular property taxes for the city of Medical Lake, Washington in Spokane County for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2026, to provide revenue for the provisions of city services as set forth in the city budget.
Thank you very much. As we discussed this in a previous workshop, I believe there is a 0% increase that we are asking for in the property tax. Any discussion about our first read?
I just think with the utility rates going up, it makes sense to keep it at zero. I agree.
I would entertain a motion to approve the first read of ordinance 1136. I move. So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay. There are no emergency ordinances that I know of. Not sure about any upcoming agenda items that we have before us. Interested citizens? Online? Audience? Nobody jumping up, so,
I will move and conclude.
okay, is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
All in favor of concluding?
Aye.
Okay, all right, we're concluded.
So voted.